life that I want to have and the life that I have are not matching up.
Not taking care of myself physically is making me unhappy. You and I are like, have had so much positivity and like grace for ourselves. Like, we're grieving, we need rest. And so it's
we need
like
another margarita.
Yeah.
Another glass of wine. I created this wheel that's awesome, and I pushed it down the hill, and it's never gonna stop unless I run down the hill and stop it.
Saying yes to the good things, saying no to the things that are a little off track.
Look, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with somebody else.
Fist bump.
Welcome back to another episode of At Our Place with Megan and Sherell. I'm Sherell.
Welcome back. I'm Megan. Sorry, I talked over you.
How could you?
What?
How could you?
What did I do wrong this time?
What haven't you done wrong?
So rude.
Oh, if you don't know, we are wives turned bandmates and now podcast hosts. We are a mom of a dog. We live by the beach. We like to play Settlers of Catan and go camping.
Mm-hmm. We sound like super nerds now. So welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to our podcast.
Where we're super cool.
Oh my God.
And
stop.
It's worth sticking around.
Stop while you're ahead.
How are you doing, baby?
Oh, I'm good. I think I'm good. I got a new jacket today, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Woohoo.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
We've been doing a lot more camping lately, and I realized I actually don't have like a serious jacket. So I have a bunch of hoodies, and I realized, wow, if it rains one of these times, I'm gonna be screwed.
Yeah, Sherell went to REI. We've been there quite a few times because they've been having a sale, which is dangerous.
And it's dangerous for me, someone with ADHD, just walking through the store who's naturally a spender.
That's the funny thing. I feel like I've said it before, but you tend to, when you're alone, it's especially dangerous because
they target me.
Yeah, people will come up to you and say, "Oh, do you have the membership card? You should totally get it."
Probably about six people told me about the membership, and I already knew about the membership.
That's a bit too much. 6 people.
Yeah, there's a lot. Every single person who came up to me today talked to me about a membership.
It's a bit pushy. That's like peer pressure. Like, do you have a membership card? Do you have a membership
Well,
card?
I realized that they were cheating me because they were like, oh, if you spend $30 for this membership, we'll give you $30 of store credit. Okay. And then I realized I could just take that $30 and either save it and I would have $30, or I could spend it anywhere I want to. They're not doing me any favors.
Okay, this is like, it's no shade to anybody.
It's like I could buy it without getting their membership.
This is no shade to anybody that likes having membership cards, okay? But normally they eat up your money.
Yeah, and they're like, well, you could just come back and then you'll save. And I thought I could save by not getting membership.
Yeah, it's more of like it just makes it easier to spend more than you initially intended to. So
there are these two ladies. They were both older. One of them was probably like in her 90s, and the other one was probably like in her 70s.
Working at REI?
No, I think it's a mother and a daughter. So they were there today, and they were shopping for jackets too. So I heard their little conversation, and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" It's the daughter was shopping for her mom who was older, and she was like, "Mom, look at this. We should get this one." So the mom tries on this puffy like Patagonia jacket. Looks great on her. And then she was like, "Oh my gosh, this jacket is $180. And she was like, "This is insane. This is so crazy."
I mean, that's a fair response.
Which is fair. That was the for sale price. And then when they realized it was actually on sale for 40% off, and that was the for sale price, they bought it.
Wait, what? Oh my gosh.
They were like, "Well, it's on sale." And I thought all they had to do was tell you it's actually on sale for the price that you saw it at. and you're going to buy it.
You're one to talk because sometimes
hey,
sometimes you will get something at the store and it's nothing big, but like, oh, I got the olive oil. It was on sale for $20.
That's different. That's stuff we use all the time.
And I'm like, you could get the same size at a different store for $10.
Lesser thing.
The same thing.
Sometimes it's actually just the price of convenience, because if I'm already at the store and I know I need something, I'm not going to go to a completely different store to get it $2 off.
I think
like my time is worth more than $2. You know what I mean?
Especially in this economy.
I'm just saying. My time is worth a lot more than just driving to a whole different store and going in for one object when I just had it at the other store.
I think we're at the risk of sounding a little too domestic.
I'm just saying.
A little too settled down.
Time is money, baby.
Oh my gosh.
How are you?
I'm doing better today.
What do you mean better?
This kind of
Oh,
the all-knowing Well, I haven't been feeling happy lately.
She says that while giggling.
Hee. And it's all kind of resolvable, probably. But I'm feeling better today because I've been making better choices. So I basically told you I want to, prioritize. And this is kind of going into our topic a little bit. So I don't know. It's spoiler.
You can just give like an overview and then we'll dive in.
Okay. Essentially, the past week and a half has led us into talking about priorities today. Mm-hmm. We need to talk about your priorities.
Oh my gosh. I hate it when bosses say that. I'm like, we need to talk about yours.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we kind of figured it's a good thing to talk about because we realized our lives and what we're spending time doing is we're not really prioritizing the things that we want to excel in and move forward in. Today I'm doing better. I went on a jog this morning and I'm talking to a friend later, and that's pretty much it.
We went to visit my parents last weekend.
That was fun. Yeah, we got to see nephews and nieces and your sister, and I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it because I got to ride a horse.
Yeah, your mom bought a race horse. She's so pretty.
She's a purebred. They actually used her to breed a bunch of horses, and then now she's just chilling.
Yeah, but we rode her, and it was like, I don't know. I was thinking I could get used to this.
Like farm life.
I could get used to
ranch life.
This ranch life on a horse.
The thing is, you did like zero work. All you did is the fun stuff.
Yeah.
You can't just say, oh, I could get used to this when like you didn't wake up at 5 a.m. You didn't weed anything. You didn't plant anything. You didn't ride any tractors. You didn't feed any animals.
I could be like one of those girls on Farmer Wants a Wife, but instead you're feeding the animals and I get to like just ride the horse. Yeah,
wait till it's 6:30 in the morning and you have to milk goats and feed them all, and also
the goats are cute though. There were so many
stalls and
there were so many little goats. They were so cute. They were all jumping on me. I was like, oh, you guys stop. So
I'm gonna do like a soft, what is it when you like a soft launch?
Sure.
I'm gonna do a soft launch to farm life, and I'm gonna have you do all the like gentle chores.
Okay.
Like, getting the eggs and feeding the chickens and all the like cute little domestic little things.
It was funny because normally people say soft launch when they're talking about like a campaign or a startup.
I'm campaigning to have us get a ranch, but I'm doing a soft launch of it. It's going to be soft.
Sounds weirdly techie. Like Bay Area.
I'm just saying, I need to ease you into that ranch life. So I got to keep you giving you things that you love and then slowly slip in things that you'll hate.
Here's the horse. Here's the farm fresh eggs from my mom.
Exactly. Oh, here's honey.
I love it.
And then it's like, here's how you get all those things that you love.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was fun. You know what I'm proud of myself for? I remained myself that whole weekend.
You remained yourself.
Yeah. Usually when I go back, I put on a performance and I have to put on all this kind of like armor to show up and be around not everybody, but specific people. That's very hard for me to be around. And so I usually show up and I'm like in happy-go-lucky Sherell mode of trying to like be a people pleaser and be the life of the party and pretend like everything's good with everybody, and when it's really, really, really not for some people. Yeah. And I didn't do that this time. I just showed up as myself, and when I was tired of being around people, I left.
I noticed that. I told you in the car, but I was like, it seems like you're being more authentic. And I know sometimes like you have to put on walls, or sometimes you have to put up walls, but I don't know, something about you is just like cool, calm, and collected. I don't know, something about it.
I felt like it. Honestly, I was probably just too exhausted from work to put up the walls. So I was just like, you know what, this is what I got. So
yeah. And Sherell has a new job, so we are especially tired and stretching ourselves thin, I feel.
Well, I'm happy.
That doesn't mean you're not happy.
I like it.
That's good.
It was Debbie Downer over here. Sherell's a new job, so life sucks, and we hate everything.
Wait, what?
All smiles.
Am I coming across that way?
No, I just like to tease you. I mean, maybe a little bit.
Okay.
Well, last night you did have somewhat of a breakdown.
I think it was a breakthrough.
Only a white girl.
You know what? I just realized that my breakdown is turning into a breakthrough.
I'm out of here. I'm done with this little podcast that's going on right now.
You just don't like that I came up with something clever.
It's not clever. It's just cheesy, and it's so like, aha, look, you just put a positive spin on your crazy yesterday. Basically, Megan, who we all love, me most of all.
Is there a butt in here?
No. Basically, Megan wept yesterday on the couch after snapping at me for no good reason at all, other than she was upset with herself. And she didn't want to be upset with herself, so she became upset with me.
I can't stop laughing. Yeah, it was one of those things where I was so tired and like just legitimately tired. We have had a crazy weekend with not much rest, and we came back and our evenings are packed full of, we want to do the podcast, we want to do music, we want to do this or that. And so I was like, okay, we just got to do all this stuff, but I didn't really want to. And so I put it off and did other stuff first.
For many hours.
Yeah, I just like did a whole different project, and then Sherell was making dinner, and apparently the mac and cheese recipe that I picked out took her like 2 hours.
You chose like this deluxe mac and cheese that had
was delicious.
A million ingredients and a million steps.
It was so good though. We're still eating it.
It was great, but it took me 2 hours to make a dish that should have taken me 20 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it would take you so long. I just like went on a spiral, and at the very core of it, after crying and just
feeling sorry for yourself and being mad at me, even though I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I don't think I was truly mad because I knew deep down that it was my problem. You came to me and you said you chose to do this whole other thing. If you wanted to do that other stuff, you would have chosen to do it earlier. Like, you chose to make your schedule like this tonight, and Therefore, you are crying now. And
that's because I'm not the one, and all of you guys are gasping because you're like, Sherell, show up for your wife. I do. And one of the ways I show up for my wife is call her out when she's acting like that. Because sometimes she tries to act like a little spoiled princess. And I'm not the one.
Yeah. So what it all boils down to at the bottom of this, I wanted to prioritize certain things in my life, and I didn't.
You were mad about it.
And I didn't want to. You know, it's like long-term goals. You want to do something, but then every single day you're not doing something towards that.
It's like who you want to be versus who you actually are.
Yes.
Not who you want to be, who you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I was at. I was upset and I didn't have time, and I was upset that I didn't want to do the things
I feel bad though
that I want to do.
I feel bad because I called you out in a big way.
It wasn't that
No,
big.
I said something very pointed. She was like, well, you know, there's something about the schedule, and I said, well, there's nowhere on that schedule that says you'll spend 4 hours doing that anyway. She just burst into tears even harder and went into the bedroom and sat and cried. And I was like, I could come for her, or
you can let me sit in my
I'm just gonna let her sit there.
in my breakthrough.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm happy for you. I'm happy that it wasn't a waste.
So, you know what I did? Is I went to the room. I got out my book. It's a book called Building an Anxious Life by Dr. John Deloney. And I came up on the chapter that's talking about physical health and stuff. And I was like, yeah, okay. Calmed me down, read the book. And then in the morning today, I woke up at 7 and I got up and I went on a little 20-minute jog with our dog. And then I took a shower, went to work, that kind of stuff. And it made my day a whole lot better.
You seemed very happy this morning with how your day flowed.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Thank you. I think I went through a whole season of us grieving losing our dog and just being like, I don't want to work out. I'm going to eat ice cream every day and that's going to be awesome. And it was.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like transitioning to where not taking care of myself physically is making me unhappy.
Yeah.
So I had to change it now.
There's like a point, I think, when you're grieving where you just kind of like cocoon. And lots of people grieve, like everybody grieves in a different way. But I think for us, there was a point where we self-protected by, you know, watching a bunch of TV and eating a bunch of food that we wouldn't usually eat and not doing the physical activities we usually would do, not doing the mental activities we usually would do. Mm-hmm. And that was good for us to just like protect because we were healing and we were heartbroken. And now it's flip-flopped where it's like, okay, if we keep going down that road, now that will be destructive, like no longer helpful.
And I think the thing that was tripping me up lately is that I have, over the past couple of years, just like, we've done 75 hard and we've done these mental toughness programs and things like that, which have like surprisingly helped me become less like obsessive about how my body needs to look and how much I need to work out and eat and try to control how I look. Like that kind of obsessive stuff that I feel like women can tend to like try to get into. I got into such a healthy place, and so the past 3 months I legitimately had no problem. Like I don't care if I eat this kind of stuff. I don't care if I don't work out. Like this is me caring for myself, and I love myself. Like I've gotten to a place of deeply loving myself. So it was even harder to be like, I actually need to like start working out again.
Yeah, it's like now I need to love myself. It's like I needed to love myself by resting, and now I need to love myself by working out. Yeah, and both are loving myself, but the working out part is a lot harder than resting. So.
Yeah, it's definitely not a natural tendency.
It is when you're in the flow of it, but when you're out of the flow of it, it's like this hump of like, okay,
you're literally going uphill.
Yes. I'm learning that with physical therapy. Every week they've got me doing harder and harder things because my foot is healing. But it's like I have to do the hard things in order to heal it, but I preferred it when I was like sitting down. You know? So I'm moving, but I'm doing these ankle stretches, and now it's like, okay, do a plank and do this and do it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a big step.
But it's healing. It's good. They even have me like riding the bike and doing all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
So
I'm glad you're healing.
It is slowly but surely.
It's a slow, long process. But yeah, just big moment of realizing I am in my daily life, I'm choosing things that are not where I want to be. Like, just kind of, I'm kind of like protecting myself of, I might as well just not chase my dreams in this or that way. And it's just like allowing me to be lazy in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Society doesn't like to use the word lazy about ourselves.
Allowing me to pass on doing stuff that is hard, even though it's chasing my dreams and goals.
Yeah, a week ago, I think it was, we kind of had a reality check, which is why we wanted to talk to you guys about choosing reality and prioritizing yourself, like prioritizing what you really want. So I don't know how it came about, but we realized we have...
I think it was your idea.
We realized we have... Oh, it was because you don't have any time. We got into a fight, I think. And it was a fight. It wasn't really a big fight. It was just a fight about like you wanting personal time.
Oh.
And I was like, I thought we were going to hang out.
Here's how that week went. So there was another week before my whole thing yesterday where I was just like watching TV on my phone all the time. Like, I was
literally like every time I turned around, you're like watching your show.
I was watching TV on my phone, like in the morning, in the evening, and I at the same time felt like I was with you all the time, which is good. I mean, you're my best friend, but I basically wasn't getting the things that I needed, and so I was like coping by just like watching TV all the time and trying to do that. So yeah, it
was literally like I would go to talk to her, and I would like go to talk to you, and I'd turn around and you'd be watching your TV, and then I realized it was frustrating you because you'd pause it and you'd be like, "What?" And I was like, I didn't realize I was being a nuisance.
I think it was frustrating to me because sometimes you don't think about how I might be listening to a podcast or something, and you just
think you're hanging out,
scream across the room, and you're like, I found this thing on the internet, or like
I scream across the room.
Like you're in the bedroom and I'm in the kitchen doing stuff, and you don't
I
think,
say, oh my gosh, babe.
so I'm like, in any case, in addition to that, I was basically realizing I need things and I'm not doing anything to get them. Like I need personal time and I'm not doing anything to get that. I need time with friends, I'm not doing anything. So it's like, again, not prioritizing things that I actually need. Instead, I'm settling for just being at home all the time, settling for, just watching TV and that kind of stuff when I'm bored and just like nothing to replenish myself. So.
And I felt sorry for, like that made me feel sad for you because I realized.
Poor me.
No, because I realized you don't make any time for yourself because you're always making something that has to do with others. Like you're always doing something that is an output. You're not ever just doing something for you that isn't productive. Like you come home from work and then you do 5 projects and then you do the projects that we mutually do together and then you clean and then you go to bed.
Yeah.
And that has been what you've chosen to do for a long time. So I felt sad for you because I know that you're an introvert and you get a lot of energy from from like restoring yourself by yourself.
Yeah.
But also, I felt sorry for me because you doing that didn't make our time together quality.
Yeah, it was
like
just
it was
quantity.
just time together, but it wasn't quality. It was like tension filled and drained, and like, I don't know. It wasn't like you were showing up as your full self for me and for the time we spent together.
Yeah. Yeah. And I legitimately was just like, I'm sorry for the TV thing. I'm sorry for being frustrated. I think I just realized like I'm not happy and I'm not sure why, but that's just like at the core of it. So now I've reflected on it a little bit and I'm happier and I'm more hopeful in the past, day. But for me, feeling like, oh, I'm not happy is just like I'm drained and I feel the need to cope with something, and I'm constantly feeling like a little bit anxious in the sense of like I don't have time for things, or
you're not enjoying a peaceful life. You're busy and tired.
Yeah, essentially.
No,
yeah,
does that have to do with our relationship?
No. It doesn't have anything to do with us. It's like, I think we've talked about this before, but you and I shouldn't really be each other's everything. We are, in a sense of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
More than words can describe are a part of my life and a core of my life.
Yeah, but I'm not your whole world.
Yeah, it's almost like if you go out and do something without each other, or even just doing something by yourself, then you can like come back to your partner with more of a sense of joy and a sense of self, and being able to connect on like, oh, your time doing that other thing. Or so like you were super supportive. You're always really supportive of me, and there's nothing wrong with us. I don't know.
That's good. Let me worry for a second. No, I know we're good. It's just I think when we first started dating, we had that conversation where you were like, "You're my whole world," and I was like, "Whoa."
You're like, "I don't like how that sounds."
I don't want to be your whole world, cause I don't like it, like to this day, and I don't know if it's because I have kind of like an avoidant attachment style a little bit. I don't
think you do.
I have more avoidant in some ways. Like if in the past with friends, if I felt them being clingy, then I would just dip out.
I mean, everyone feels that to some extent. Oh, maybe we're similar in that way.
I don't know. I just know that it's like the harder someone clings to me, the more I'm like, ooh. So when we first started talking and you were like, "You're my whole world," I was like,
wait,
no.
When we first started talking and I said, "You're my whole world,"
I was like, back up.
That did not happen.
Yes, it did.
No.
We had this conversation like from the jump.
No. No.
Yes, we did.
No. That's ridiculous.
And I was like, whoa. Hold up.
Oh my gosh.
I just asked for your number.
That's okay. You're funny. That's a funny joke.
It did happen pretty quick. Babe, we literally got engaged like pretty fast. Like, you can't say it didn't happen quick. You moved in like 2 weeks after we started dating. You can't say it didn't happen quick.
But it wasn't like
you moved in.
It wasn't like we started texting and then you said, "You're my whole world." That's so silly.
I would be interested to see the timeline.
Okay. Back to what
Show me the replay. Show me the replay.
Back to what we were talking about. Were we talking about the whiteboard?
Yeah, we're getting there. All of that to say, I don't want to be Megan's whole world. She is not my whole world. We make a whole big wide world together, and we walk hand in hand through that world. Nice. That's what we're doing. She's not big enough to be my whole world, and I'm not big enough to be hers. That's a lot of pressure to put on somebody. You need to have a life outside of your partner.
So, yeah, you need your personal time too.
So when Megan had this whole breakdown, not the one last night, but the one 2 weeks ago.
This whole week long.
She's been having a breakdown. She's been having a minute. So I got a whiteboard out and I said, listen, how much time do you spend on projects?
And instead of doing like hours, we did percentages of the week.
And I'm glad we did.
So I have my calculator out. I said, okay, wait, what was the first thing that you said?
I asked you, how much time do you spend a day or a week on just having like non-productive personal time?
Oh, well, that's like a 0.
Yeah, we realized it because we basically tallied it up based off of our schedule, and it was very eye-opening. We basically did percentages of what we were actually doing, and then in a different color we did percentages of what we want to be doing.
Yes,
like, and it was shocking. I was
still
shocked.
Don't quite like. I still can't quite understand how to analyze what we wrote.
We're not gonna go into the specifics, but basically, the things that I say that I value the most are clearly not what I actually spend the most time on.
Boom. I'm the same way, which is frustrating, which is why I had the funny little breakdown.
Makes me be a hypocrite. It's like if I really cared about that, I would clearly be spending more time doing it, and I didn't.
Yeah, it's like saying you want X thing, and then you're spending all your money on a different thing, and it's like, what do you really prioritize? So it's like, this is us spending our time. We say we want to spend time having a like personal time to replenish ourselves, or we say
we want a great sex life, but we have sex less than we actually want to, or I want to work on my music as Sherell Jane specifically, and I work on that project less than every other project I do.
Yeah.
So it's just very fascinating what we actually spend our time on.
Oh, and health too. Like me spending, I was like, I would like to be active in some, like even just a walk 30 minutes a day, and I'm doing 0 right now. So I wanted what
that's the way you say, and I'm doing 0 right now.
So then we changed it all to be what percentages we actually want, and I still don't understand the percentage thing, but I see where
red and black and white and blue and purple on the whiteboard.
She's talking about our whiteboard colors, our markers. I would say for me, instead of the percentages thing, I'm thinking about it like I can wake up at 7 and I can go on a walk, and then I can go to work. Like I can squeeze that in instead of sleeping in every day, or I can, do whatever else
you can still sleep in every day. You just have to go to sleep earlier and then sleep in till 7.
Wait, go to sleep early. Oh, I see.
You just shift your day.
Yeah, I mean, but I have to do all the other things.
So you are not Superwoman. Here's my little revelation in this whole thing. Yes. I realized the life that I want to have and the life that I have are not matching up.
Yeah.
And it's not an envious, I just want more, blah, blah, blah. It's actually, I want less. I want less projects. I want less busyness. I want less chaos. I want less opportunities that take every single weekend. Because we say yes to a lot of things, and then those things take up every single weekend. I want less. I just want to be able to look across the table at you on a Saturday and have a peaceful day.
Yes.
And do less things. Because right now it feels like every moment we're doing something.
Yeah. For me, it feels like a shift of, at least for me, I tend to add a lot of distractions maybe, or I don't know. just maybe like a shift of being more intentional of, okay, if I choose to do this today, then I can't do this. Or
it's like opportunity cost.
Yeah. And like when you and I, our home life takes up such a large percentage, like doing the dishes, cleaning the dog, cleaning the floors, all this stuff takes so much time.
Buying groceries, cooking dinner.
Every single week.
Everything.
And
just being a grown-up.
Being a grown-up is hard. Every week, it's like if we do more preparations, then the less time that it takes. So we used to save a ton of time when we would meet every week and say, what's our menu for the week? And then go to the grocery store for all the stuff, and then it's boom,
because we
done.
Were busier then, honestly. We had we got super, super organized, and we were able to accomplish more than we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. And then we lost Caius, and things got really hard and grieving. And we stopped being so organized, but we kept trying to be that productive. And now it's catching us where we're like, this is draining me.
Yeah. When you keep having the mental thought of when things slow down, I'm going to rest or I'm going to XYZ, then you need to change something.
Yeah.
Things aren't going to slow down.
I realized that. I came to you and I was like, I've been waiting for things to slow down so that I can have a regular workout routine, get back into the studio, do X, Y, and Z. But I've created this life that doesn't slow down. It doesn't stop. I created this wheel that's awesome, and I pushed it down the hill, and it's never going to stop unless I run down the hill and stop it.
Yeah. So I feel like it's like a decision day of, hey, wake up. Who you want to be is different than who you actually are wanting to be in this moment. Who are you going to decide to be?
Yeah, because actions speak louder than words. If you say you want to be a person who works out and does all this stuff, but you actually just want to be a person that eats s'mores,
I'm laughing because that's been me.
And watches Vampire Diaries every night for 3 episodes a night. Actions speak louder than words.
Yep. Yeah. So.
And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to me.
No,
I've been right next to you on that couch saying, start the next one.
It's funny because you and I we're such a funny match because we'll just encourage each other so much
to have bad habits.
And that's the thing, they're not bad habits.
Yeah, they are.
We've had
they're bad habits. We could say that. That's fine. They're not healthy.
They're not healthy. Yeah, we're not meant to be sedentary beings. We're not meant to eat all this sugar. But you and I are have had so much positivity and grace for ourselves. We're grieving. We need rest. And so it's
we need another margarita.
Yeah.
Another glass of wine. Let's go.
Next episode.
Next episode.
Oh my gosh.
And then Megan's like, oh man, I wish I worked out. And I'm like, be gentle with yourself. Okay. No, just stay right here in bed with me.
And then it's and this is just me complaining as your wife.
Oh, wait, what?
I come home and I'm like, okay, this is when I have the energy. Let's do the productive thing. And you're like, I just need to relax for a little bit and then after that relaxation, then I'm like, now I need to relax because it's the end of the day.
You and I work differently because you go until you completely crash.
Not completely.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
We just work differently.
It feels like you come home and immediately jump into things, and that's your groove.
Yeah.
If I want the endurance to last till later into the night, I have to have a break. I can't just come home from work and jump into more work. That's different. It doesn't matter if it's different work. It's still more work. I have to have a break so that I can come and go and
Yeah, well, maybe that's just something we need to figure out, because I'm the type of person that if I'm in a relay race, which I never am because I've never done that.
So tell us about it.
If I'm in a relay race,
the expert.
which is why you're listening to this podcast. If I'm in a relay race, I would jog, and then I would, if it's like close to the finish, I would sprint.
That's not how relays work. Have you ever seen a relay race?
Wait, yeah. Okay, what I meant was like
relay race is like full speed ahead, every single member doing their absolute best.
It's just like a race. If I was doing a race.
Okay, so if you were just racing in general, like long distance or like 100 meter.
Like 100 meters. So I would jog.
There's no jogging. 100 meter, you just go. You just book it. There's no jogging.
Okay.
What you're talking about is like a long distance run.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Endurance.
Yes.
Okay, go.
So I would jog, and then I would like try to sprint probably because I wouldn't want to sprint in the beginning. So I'd jog, and then I would
you should sprint in the beginning so that you don't get behind everyone. You should start off fast and then slow down.
All I'm trying to say is you like to walk for a hot minute in the middle so you can sprint to the end.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
endurance,
if I start walking, I'm never going to pick back up again.
Basically, you're a sprinter and I'm an endurance runner.
Maybe.
Yes. That's what it sounds like. You just want to go until you got no more gas in the tank.
Yes.
And I want to last to the end. So I'm like, I'm going to go, then I'm going to walk, and then I'm going to go again.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe there's a compromise. Maybe there's a compromise somewhere in there.
Look, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with somebody else.
Fist bump. Together. Next episode. Another one.
Oh my God, this probably isn't making any sense.
Oh, you know what's funny too?
What?
Wait. This is just fine. I think you guys get it. The whole prioritizing.
You guys get us, even though we don't. We don't. We don't get us.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say, what was funny? Wait, what did you just say before?
Oh, she's lost it.
Oh, you know what's funny talking about TV and stuff.
What?
Yesterday when I was blaming you of like.
You're so annoying. It was so annoying.
I'm all alone.
I just feel all alone in this. I was like,
blah, blah, blah.
Because you chose to work on a project for yourself for 4 hours, but okay.
Yeah. I also said, and then we just watch TV.
That's all we do.
That's all we do.
I was like, babe, we watched part of one episode while we ate dinner. And then you spent 4 hours doing something completely not on the schedule. Which one of these two things is taking up your time?
Yeah, it was a rude awakening. It's like always finding that one thing to point to that's like, I don't know, this is the thing that's the problem. And it's like, that's not the problem.
But I do think that there's some nuance in here because your project was a good one. There was nothing wrong with it. It was probably good for you to do. And we need to create a life that allows you to do things like that.
Yeah.
Without disrupting everything else.
Yeah. I think sometimes I do stuff impulsively too. Like, I really want to do this thing like right now, today. And
then I have to do it until it's done.
And I have to do it.
And so you did it on vacation last time. We were on vacation and you spent every single day of the vacation working on that project. And then you were done like the morning before we left.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, sometimes it works out and sometimes it's kind of like I need to learn to take an exciting idea and do it in baby steps and take, I have all the time in the world. Deep breath. Like,
why do you ride like you're running out of time?
Ride day and night like you're running out of time. Yeah, so that's yeah. Sherell's in Hamilton Ranch now. I don't know if we'll get her back.
Oh man.
So yeah. I would like to hear how you guys struggle with priorities. Or
they probably don't. They're probably Gucci.
I know one person that might.
Rachel.
I love you, sister. You do have too much going on right now. But no, I think to some extent. We should
just make Rachel a co-host.
She's a sponsor of this podcast.
Nobody's ever heard her voice on this podcast, but y'all know her.
Yeah.
And I feel like she should just co-host an episode with us.
Oh, I would love that. We still need to do that. I think to some extent everybody struggles with the fact of, I want to be this kind of person, but then you're not, like, it's just you're not wanting to do the things that would get you there, and it's such a struggle. And something that I have been doing lately is like really seeing what I could say no to. And it's been
practicing saying no, bringing that back.
And it's such a privilege, because sometimes you have to say yes to a lot of things. Sometimes you have to say yes to things that will make you money in the short term, and just like say yes to all the things. Like sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely a privilege to be able to choose how you spend your time.
Yeah. So, but when it comes to like work, extra work, I have had a few chances to make a little more money, but then it's like, that's not the direction I want to go with my career or my life or stuff like that. And so I have said no to this or that just doesn't fill me with joy. And that's obviously like a whole nother phase of life, because for the past couple years we've been like kind of rocky financially. So it's like saying yes to all the things and doing that. But now,
and we've wanted to grow things, so we've said yes to a whole lot so that we could grow projects that we cared about more, and it's worked, but at a lot of cost.
Yeah. So I'm just realizing, like, if you have the ability to prioritize some more rest for yourself, or some more of like something you want to do but you just haven't made the time for it, if you're able to say no to some things or cut back a little bit.
Well, I think it'd be awesome if you guys, you don't have to do it as percentages like we did, but just see what you actually spend your week doing, and then see what you actually want to spend your week doing. And it's cool to see how much those things line up or how much those things misalign. And it's a practice. It feels like how it felt when we first started to get on a budget together, like when we were engaged.
Oh.
Where it took us like a good solid 4 months of practice making a monthly budget to where we kind of got in the groove with it.
Yeah.
Know? Like we found the pocket, but it took 4 months to get there.
Yeah, so for me, I'm hoping that it's similar to that, where we just start practicing in little ways, or I start practicing in little ways of choosing things. It's like 5 years down the road, do I still want to be doing this kind of thing, or do I not want to be doing this kind of thing? Saying yes to the good things, saying no to the things that are a little off track, and saying yes to being healthy for right now where I need to feel happy, and just being more intentional with how I spend my time and getting that personal time.
I think that topics like this get so easily misconstrued because everybody has like a do more, work harder, be tougher mentality.
Yeah.
And I just want to say we're coming from the opposite of that, where we have been extremely disciplined in the time that we've been together. And we've been doing a hell of a lot and doing really, really hard things for an extended period of time. So we're actually coming from the opposite, where we're looking at what type of life would bring us the most joy, what type of life would bring us the most fulfillment and the most peace, and what type of life would alleviate the anxiety and the stress and help us be mentally and physically healthy. Not just tough, but like mentally and physically healthy. And a lot of times that's like doing more of some things and doing less of others.
Yeah, like what can we do less of, so that we can do more like personal time and more of just the meaningful things.
The things that bring us joy.
Yeah.
You know?
So
that's what we're doing. Yeah. And that is also why this podcast is now every other week. We love doing this podcast, but in order
which is why
we love doing this podcast, which is why we're choosing to do it every other week, so that we can keep doing this thing that we love and also incorporate other things that bring us life.
Yeah, and give you guys a more quality episode.
Yes, a more quality episode. That's where we are.
Do you have anything to send our people off with today, Sherell?
Well, that's a lot of pressure. Let me think. Sometimes, I don't know if it's like specifically like an American thing or just a Sherell thing.
Proud to be
Oh
American.
My God, shut it. It's like, yes, but also like, ugh. Anyway. I'm like, sometimes as an American and sometimes just as me, Sherell Jane, I think in terms of like the American machine, where I think I have to constantly be producing and constantly be efficient, constantly outdo the last thing that I did and make more money and be bigger, better, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I create this like lifestyle and the system for myself that functions really great as a machine. And I forget I'm like this plant right here that I care for, where sometimes I need water and then sometimes I don't, and I just need to rest in the sunlight, you know, and I need to remember that I'm like a living, breathing organism that ebbs and flows and comes and goes and has different seasons for different things, and I'm not a machine. So yeah, when I find myself living an anxious life and running in an anxious system, I just need to stop and look at the things that I care for, like Alico or this plant or things like that. And yeah, just remember.
I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot. Just like having grace for yourself, but also having reality check of what season you're in, reality check of who you want to be versus like who you are being, and how can you get yourself what you need in this season, and how can you compromise certain things to get what you need. And we're all just little plants. Yeah. We all need watering. We all need periods of growth.
And sunlight.
And so that sounds like such a nice little life.
Be a plant.
Somebody water me and just leave me in the sun. And then we'll be good.
That's Lico's life.
I'll be thriving. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to leave us a 5-star review.
No less.
Because we want it. So, yeah, that's basically
give it to us. Also, because you guys leave a 5-star review, that means that other people get to find the podcast. And then we grow this cute little community of you guys.
It's a club.
It's a club. It's a group.
We're a group.
So that's why we want to do it. If you leave a 2-star review, people will look at it and be like, that podcast sucks. So don't do it. But yeah, and if you're, whatever platform you're listening, make sure that you follow us. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. So bye.